Hey everyone, Sheila here from Life for Pets. So it has been a really long time since we have shown all our tanks, so I thought I'd do a video today just going through each one of them and doing an update on them. So let's start with the 75 gallon and I'll show you what's going on in that one. So this is the 75 gallon and not a lot has changed in here. The only thing we have done is add in the Harlequin Rasboras. You can see them swimming around there, and then we have also put in, and I don't know if you can see them, there's still a little skittish in it here, but they are sort of dead center behind the snails there, and that is the pygmy cories. We have about 30 of them in here, and usually if I move around too quickly then they will go skittering off. But this is the tank as it stands right now. As you can see, we have a lot of snails. This is actually our breeding tank, and that is for the mystery snails and also the ram's horn snails. You can see here we have a lot of snails. There's a lot in there and a lot in there, and then there's absolutely hundreds of them scattered throughout this tank. And we have been selling a lot of ram's horns because we now do have predominantly the gold, pink and blue, and so they have been selling really well. Picasso is also still in the tank. I think you can see him there just swimming up and down. He gets on really well with everybody, which is a relief. I wasn't really sure how he would take to the little pygmy cories, but he's absolutely been fantastic with them. So this is the update on this tank. Not really a huge change. We did add in the Sagittarius that you can see there, the dwarf Sagittarius, because we have broken down one tank, and that was the tank that we did move it to. The rest of the plants in here are doing really well. The Anacharis is growing like crazy. Also the guppy grass, we don't actually have much left in here because we've sold so much, but we do have a little, and now we're letting it regrow, and we will actually have a lot more guppy grass for sale on our website. I think we're going to put it up on the 5th of July. We're going to wait now till the holiday is over. Okay, let's go take a look at the next tank. So this tank we actually haven't shown yet. This one is still sort of in the making, as it were, and this is for some new shrimp that we've got. I'm not going to do a close-up of this tank because I am going to do a full video on it eventually. So this is just a basic 10 gallon. Again, as you can see, guppy grass is growing like crazy, and we have a large trumpet snail on the side there. So this is just a 10 gallon and just a really quick look at this tank. So let's take a look at the two tanks in this corner here. I have actually just fed these, so I'm hoping that the cories will come out and show themselves. This is the 20 gallon long, and it has had a severe haircut. It was absolutely covered in the guppy grass, literally the whole tank. So I sold loads of it again, and I did take it back probably to the least amount in this tank that I've ever done. So I am hoping that it's going to come back okay. As you can see, we do have a lot of moss balls in here. They are also listed on our website. So in here we do have a female betta fish, we have cherry shrimp, we have the rummy nose tetras, and then we do have some of the cories, and right now they still haven't shown themselves. So maybe if they do while I'm still in this corner, I'll come back to them. Okay, I'm going to just do a quick go on this jar and what is going on in here. For those of you that have been following on the live streams that we've done just recently, you will know that Leo has been struggling with what we thought was a really bad case of Popeye. I don't know whether you can see him in here. He's actually asleep. I have just turned these lights on, so the little sleepy. But he is now back in this gallon jar, and I'm not going to go too much into detail with this one. I have talked about it at length on one of the live streams, but this we have found has been the best treatment for him, so we have gone back to it because things were getting really bad with him. However, he has improved again going back in here, but I am starting to think that this might be more tumour than anything else. Even though the eyes are bulging, but nothing seems to be taking care of it. So right now he's gone back in here, we've added some guppy grass, and I have just added some new catappa leaves, so they are still yet to sink. The water is a fairly brown colour, but it will get a lot darker over the next 24 hours. So that is him. And then this tank here, and as you can see, this one has crazy growth with the guppy grass, and also we have tons of shrimp and baby snails in here. So this is actually our grow out tank for the snails, and we get asked a lot when we're going to have some back on our website, and I do have a few. I don't know whether you can see them just in the back there. They will be available again probably around the 5th of July. I've separated them out, and so now they're just getting fed up in there, and as long as everything's good, then they will go up on the website. So this tank, crazy growth on this one. Oh, one of the cories has actually come out, so you can see one of them. I think there's 4 in here in total. I always lose count, but I think there's 4. And on the top we do have our floating incubator for mystery snail eggs. I don't know whether you can see them in there, but you can see there's a few batches in there. Some are almost ready to hatch, but this is how we hatch them, so they just spend their time floating on the top of the tank. All right, let's move on to the star of the show, because let's face it, he knows that he is, and that is Mr. Belphin. And for those of you that haven't seen his colour change video, I will leave a link to it, but we cannot believe how much he has changed even since that video. I think it was the day before or the day after that video went out, we started noticing him getting black on his top fin, and he was getting very black sort of under his stomach, and I don't know whether it's going to show up very well. Right now I'm actually filming this at night. He's actually got a spot of orange on his side as well. Now orange is something he never was, but can you see all the black on the underside of his stomach and on his top fin? It's not really showing up very well in the light, but absolutely unbelievable. It looks like he is starting to change again. But this is Belphin's tank. I am going to do a full video dedicated to him and his story. We receive a lot of hate about his tank, and I think a lot of people just don't understand where he's come from and what he's been through and the reason he's in this tank. So I am going to do a dedicated video, but this is his tank right now, and we absolutely adore him. In fact, to tell you what, I shall go and get some food to feed him. Just give me 1 minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got some food, so let's see if we can get him to eat. There we go. This is his favourite food of all time, Rapashi gel food. He's just got a big chunk. So that'll be it now. All right, we're going to drop it down, and then he can eat at his leisure. As you can see, this does make a mess, but I love this food for goldfish. One, because it does make a mess and it means that a lot sinks to the bottom, and then he spends hours foraging around for food. So I think it's a really good enrichment food, along with obviously a very healthy food generally. So next to Belphin's tank we have the 20-gallon divided tank, and you may notice there is something different in this tank, and we have had quite the event with this tank. I don't really know what else to call it, and that is with the plants in this middle section. As you can see, the plants in both other sides are doing really well. They are producing a lot of shoots and new growth. You can see from the bottom there. Oh, by the way, this is our new beta fish, Riley. I don't know if I can get him to show himself a little better, but he is gorgeous. For those of you that follow us on Instagram, you will have already seen him. We've had him now for I think about 6-7 weeks, and he's doing great. He's absolutely gorgeous. Don't know whether he's going to give us a full display here. Maybe if he doesn't, I will insert some footage. of him. I will insert some footage of the middle of this tank and show you exactly what went on, but these plants here were basically as full as what is over here, and they literally all wilted back to stalks. There wasn't even any greenery. The one at the back there was the same, and then there's one behind the Anubias that did exactly the same, and they literally went back to stalks, and that was it. As you can see, we don't have a betta fish in this section. We decided to put some shrimp in here instead, and you can see there we've got, I don't know whether it will focus, we've got a little baby shrimp there just on the wall. So we're really not sure what has happened. We've never seen anything like what happened in this tank. Everything just wilted right down and completely died. You can see in this tank here a lot of new shoots all coming through, and I don't know if the same thing's going to happen in the other sides, whether everything's just going to wilt away and the new growth come up or not. I just don't know. It's not something we've ever dealt with. I did message a few people, but nobody really had any explanation for what was going on, because as you can see, the other two sides are really full of growth and it was just the one in the middle. So we were totally stumped by that. But the shrimp in here are okay. We did actually lose a few shrimp at the time of it happening, but I have noticed that there are loads of babies in here, and so I'm not quite sure whether it was just coincidence that we lost shrimp or whether that was down to something going on with the plants as well. But as you can see, the shrimp that are in here are absolutely beautiful. So that is the 20-gallon divided. So we still haven't got a betta fish for these two. I don't think we're going to put one in the middle one, but we will eventually get one for the end there. But I just want to see what's going to go on with the wilting, just to make sure that all is okay on that. I've just spotted another little baby shrimp on the wall there, if it will focus. So we do seem to have a lot of them in here. I did notice there was another little one down on there. I don't know whether you can see it. So we do seem to have a growth going on. There's another one on the side there, and there's one actually changing sides, you can see, going through the divider there. If you do want to use our dividers to divide up for shrimp, then you would actually have to silicone them in place. We do have a lot of people buy them for that purpose, but that you do need to silicone them in place because the babies are so tiny that they can actually get through. And last but definitely not least is our 125-gallon, and this one is also doing really well. The artificial grass that we put in a while back is still looking really good. We've had no issues with cleaning it or the fish pulling it out. You can see the mess the fish have made of the Anubias. The clown barbs are still destroying the plants, but as you can see, they only destroy the Anubias. The Cripwenti they leave alone, and they don't bother at all with the artificial grass. So it's obviously something about the Anubias. I think they like the fact that they can kick it around the tank. They literally treat it like a football or a soccer ball. It's just absolutely crazy. So I'm going to go and get some food to feed this tank. This tank is so much fun to feed. So I'm going to go get some food and we will feed this tank to finish off. Okay, so Adam's going to do this because usually when we feed them we get absolutely soaked. So I am going to stand back a little. They've got a little skittish with me bringing the camera by, but they will soon realise that food is there and start going crazy. There we go. This little puffer fish right here, she's decided that she doesn't really like the bloodworm anymore. She just looks at it. She's the one, she actually absolutely loves the brine shrimp. And so we have to put cubes of brine shrimp in for her, and the rest just eat the bloodworms. But we found this is a good way to feed them all, because then that way they don't all go crazy over just the one thing, as she's still looking for bloodworms. That seems like a lot of food, but believe it or not, it will be gone in no time at all. And also we also need to make sure that the catfish at the bottom do get some. so we do need to make sure that food does reach the bottom. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and don't forget the notification bell. Alright guys, we'll see you next time.